What's up, guys? If you are a photographer, or even if you're not, maybe you just have a camera and you're a little strapped for cash. Yeah, we've all been there. I'm here today to chat about exactly what you could do to instantly start making money through your photography. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different ways to interpret how to do this. A camera can do a million things. You could be an influencer, you could be a brand ambassador and make TikToks. You could do actual commercial photography in a studio. We could be talking about selling prints or stock images, or even going full fledged, like myself, and being a couples and wedding photographer who travels around the world. But we are not talking about long term solutions or big goals that take a long time to achieve. Today, I just want to give you some quick advice on exactly what I would do if I had a camera and was looking to make a little extra cash. Now, obviously, this goes without saying, but I want to add it in here anyway. Photography is an art form. It is not just about making money. And just like every other art form, it can sometimes feel a little strange when we start to market it constantly and commodify it and make everything go from expression and process into a really quick capitalistic product, right? However, at the same time, we got bills to pay. And unfortunately, just doing fine art photography in and of itself probably is not going to be bringing you the kind of income, at least not right now, that you would need to see just to cover your bases or to cover rent. Like I mentioned before, if fine art photography really is your thing, you of course could set up different accounts, maybe on Society6 or Stelling to iStock or Google Images, where you can create these beautiful ethereal images and actually sell those and get a little bit of royalty for each image. I actually just talked to a guy recently who said that he sold one of his images to an iStock service a long time ago, and it has like millions and millions and millions of uses. But when he sold it, he did not like price it high enough or ask for like a retainer on every single use. I'm not sure how all that works. Super not my thing, but that is a route you could go if fine art photography is the only lane you want to stay in. Now, obviously, the cons to doing things that way is that it takes a lot more time. It takes time to be recognized as an artist, and you'd have to probably apply for a lot more opportunities, submit a lot more images. And if you're going the fine art route, again, you'll probably be working with galleries and trying to get your work printed and installed in shows, which can be pretty costly just to kind of put all that money up front to make gorgeous canvases or to have a really unique process in how you're going to display those images. Again, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that if that's the dream, you need to find a way to start funding the dream through photography now so that you can get to that place later and actually not have to be strapped for cash when it comes around. So, if you've got a camera in hand and you are looking to make a little extra money, this is exactly what I would do. I would start after I've mastered my camera settings, I'd start getting very comfortable with portrait photography. Now, I'm not talking about Annie Leibovitz style, gorgeous, Vogue worthy portraits that are going to be in a magazine or on social media for the whole world to see. I'm talking about easy portraiture that is going to meet the needs of your clients and your community right around your immediate area. Some things like headshots, whether that's just against a white wall or in nature, something with like a nice portrait lens and a low aperture where the eyes are nice and focused that people could easily use for their LinkedIn, their dating profile, their headshot for work, anything like that. Another idea would be senior portraits. You could offer a small package where people could say, hey, I'd like an hour of coverage. I'm going to bring up to two different outfits. We'll start next to my high school and do a couple with the brick wall behind me, and then we're going to move to the track and field and I'll put on my running shoes and kind of do something else. Another really simple idea, everyone needs family photos. Family photos are never going away, no matter what stage of life people are in, whether that is maternity and they're expecting a child, or newborn, that baby is fresh and ready to be photographed, or they've got several kiddos that are young or kids that are in high school or even college age. People need family photos. They always want to document their family, and they usually don't want to set up the tripod and do it themselves. Even though I'm a photographer, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that either. It is something that solved their problem to say, hey, I actually know portrait photography very well. Here's a few examples of my work. Let me come over to your family house or family reunion or family gathering. This is my rate, and I'll make sure you get gorgeous photos of all of your loved ones. Another idea would be boudoir photography, or something that is maybe for a couple who's getting married soon and the fiance wants to take some kind of, modest but still spicy pictures for her husband's eyes only. That could be another fun one. You could rent out a studio and offer that as kind of like an empowering and fun, spicy session that you can create some gorgeous images and make sure that they feel super happy and super confident in the way that they look. And this goes without saying, but obviously, another really high ticket item for photographers are engagement photos. As soon as somebody pops the question, they will want to document the season of life. And almost all of my clients choose to do an engagement session with me, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just need a photographer in their area. Maybe I don't live in the same spot they do, or maybe they just want to do something a little more tame or a little more within the budget than a full fledged engagement package in addition to their wedding photos. So you could be the solution to that. So obviously there are so many ideas with portrait photography of what you could start to offer to kind of get a little cash flow going and start saving up for your next financial goal. But this is the structure I would do to make the absolute most bang for your buck. I would host a mini session day where all of those portraits can come sort of back to back. That way, you have batch worked your entire schedule that day, and you can go home and edit all of those images, return the gallery within 48 or 72 hours, depending on what's attainable to you, and literally make probably thousands of dollars within one day of work. So let's say you want to do mini sessions for people in your community. You could say, hey, I'm going to be at this park today from noon until sunset. Let's say that's 8 hours. And I'm going to do 20-minute mini sessions where you can come and bring your crew, whether it's headshots, whether it's a family photo, whether it's senior pictures, engagements, whatever you want to do in those 20 minutes. I will make sure that you get at least 15 gorgeous, final, high resolution, edited images, edited in my style, and delivered to you within 2 days, 3 days, a week, whatever it is. Let's say you charge $100 per 20-minute slot. That alone, you could fit 2 slots within an hour, giving yourself a little buffer between each client. Maybe you have some snacks on hand. Maybe there's a porta potty nearby. Like, you've got all your ducks in a row, right? So it's very low cost. You're not paying any rental studio fees. You're not doing anything fancy. There's no props, or if there are, the clients are bringing them. And within that one day, if you do the $100 for 20 minutes, you are instantly seeing $1,600 hit your bank account for that day. Okay? Now, obviously, I'm a photographer myself. I know that that is not a full profit. You have overhead expenses. You've got your editing software. You've got your camera. You've got all these different things that will contribute to that. You've got your taxes. However, that is just the bare minimum of what you could start doing. You could obviously factor those expenses in, and maybe you're saying this is going to be $150 or this is $200, or I mean, for me, my mini sessions are $275. So it really depends on your skill level, what your portfolio currently looks like, and what your clients even need. Another idea that does drive up the cost just a bit, but also drives up your profit, would be to rent out an indoor studio space for these mini sessions. Now, that might trigger you a little bit. You might go, I'm trying to make money here. I'm not trying to spend it. However, if you rent out an indoor studio, not only can you guarantee to those clients that rain or shine, the session will still be happening, but you also could decorate it or have the studio be decorated in a way that makes it a no-brainer for your clients to want to book. For example, one of my friends just did this, and she worked with a florist to create these gorgeous floral arrangements inside of a studio so that every single photo for their Mother's Day minis had beautiful florals, and she could guarantee that you would not only get gorgeous florals in the background, but also your photos turned around in a 48-hour window, and rain or shine, it was still going to happen. This idea is particularly exciting and very, very profitable around the holidays. A lot of studios like to dress things up for Christmas. Maybe they'll have a fireplace with a Christmas tree or some bows or ribbons and presents and everything, and it just looks like JCPenney's, but so much better. And for clients, it makes them feel like elevated and like they're walking into a Ralph Lauren catalog without you having to drive all the way to their house or to drive all the way around town and waste your time trying to fit in 3 and 4 separate sessions in one day, you can fit them all into one day and then come home instantly being able to edit your previews and make a profit immediately. One final strategy for this exact idea. I personally have not tried this myself before, but if you are in the business of retouching your photos with a lot of airbrushing, or maybe you do maternity or newborn photos where you're getting really into the details with your photography and making sure every single detail is absolutely picture perfect, you could offer to upgrade someone's gallery. What I mean by that is saying if they book a mini session guaranteeing 10 or 20 final images, you could say, "Hey, you're paying your 250 for those 10 images, but after I give them to you, if you would like another 10 images, you could pay an additional $100 and I will select, like, you can select any of those 10 images. I will personally retouch them and make them the best that they could possibly be." And then the client could build onto their own gallery and you could make even more money. One last tip, I thought I was done, but apparently I have more to say, is that even though the client has already booked their session with you, and even if they don't choose to upgrade, they will also still be very inclined to buy prints and albums through you and your business. So make sure that your galleries are set up so that when they order prints, you get the tiniest little bit of profit on top of that, which can make all the difference when you are in a penny pinching season. Okay, that was a lot of information, but I hope this was helpful for you. If you are looking to make some dollars with your camera, let me know if these ideas were helpful and fruitful for you. If you've tried anything like this, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all the things. I post content like this, practical photography, business tips, and so much more. So don't forget to follow the journey on the India and Stuff page. Bye.